And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you?
What could ever lead you?
Back here where we need you.
Back here where we need you.
Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. Okay, here we are. Okay, everybody. Welcome back, Jaleelah. That's what we're here for. And we thank you all for showing up. My name is Bill Meyer. I'm with the OneHamtramck organization. And this is something we had planned to do a year ago in January. We were going to welcome back Jaleelah on January 9th, 2022. It didn't happen. So my wife, Twyla, and I were doing this. And now we're here a year later. And now we are welcoming her back. And we have lots of friends joining us. And we're so thankful for you to be here. I'm going to say a few remarks first, and then we're going to show you a few clips. So I'm going to tell you what the program is going to be. We're going to spend about 40 minutes with prepared comments, and Alisa Perkins is going to handle that section. And then we're going to follow that with some comments from Jaleelah, our guest. And then that'll be followed by public comments and Q&A. And I want to remind you that the program is being recorded. So if you don't want your face being shown, please turn off your video. When all mics are off during this meeting until you want to speak. And if you want to speak, all you have to do is go down to the reactions tab at the bottom and click it, and then click raise hand. And we'll recognize you when your hand is raised. I want to thank our committee, first of all, for helping put this together. Of course, Alisa Perkins is back in town, and you're going to know more about her from later on. We also have Farhana Islam as one of our committee members. We thank Farhana for her work and help. And Forrest Lim is here. Is there. Hi, Na goes by they, them. And then they, he. And then we have Danielle. Francisca is coming on in a few minutes. Thank you, Danielle. And America, Yahya is helping us with this committee, America. And then Linda Rayburn is also on our committee. So that's the committee that helped put this specific event on. So now I just want to let you know that OneHamtramck is a civic organization that's formed in 2009. We formed this with my wife, Twyla. And I was the assistant, and also with the assistance of Alisa Perkins. She helped us out, start this group. It's a follow-up to the work that I did as a chair for the Human Relations Commission in Hamtramck here, dedicated to addressing racism and Islamophobia and discrimination of all kinds in Hamtramck and helping to bring people together. Hamtramck's always been known as a Polish city, Polish town, but the demographics have started changing somewhere near the late 90s. And today, the Muslim population, including Yemenis and Bangladeshis and Bosnians, account for over 3/4 of the population in Hamtramck. However, for a long time, the white power structure hung on to power even as they became a small minority. Most all police officers and firemen and teachers and administrators were white. It took a while for the Yemeni Americans to be demarginalized and become part of the decision-making bodies of the government, local government. Today, over 70 to 80% of public school students are Muslim, while the vast majority of teachers are white. This is an important aspect of what we're talking about here. I mean, I know people don't like to talk about ethnicity and all that sort of stuff and racism. That's a tough thing to deal with. But those are the realities we have to all face. And certainly if you're a target of this discrimination, you are concerned about the issue for sure. So that's what OneHamtramck has been, and we've always addressed that. And that's why we've always supported Jaleelah in her role here in Hamtramck. We fought for fair representation and inclusion of all people living here, and especially the majority Muslim community. So 3 things happened back in 2019 that confirmed the emergence of this new power. The city sponsored its first iftar dinner, even though only one Yemeni person ended up paying for the whole thing. But and then the first Arab Muslim Yemeni woman was appointed to office. That was the second big coup, and that was Jaleelah. This was historic. As times went on, the city council became majority Muslim, and with the election of Yemeni American Mayor Amr Ghalib, and some new council members, the time had arrived for Yemenis and Bangladeshis to take a major role in running the city. It was a surprise victory when a Yemeni woman was elected to the Hamtramck Public Schools superintendent position in 2019. OneHamtramck quickly organized a special educational forum featuring one of the guests was Jaleelah. We're going to show clips of that in a minute. It was a great start, but after that, things got pretty difficult. COVID pandemic came, hit the country. School districts were in turmoil. In Michigan alone, like I think 4,000 school administrators quit their jobs during the COVID period. Tragedy of not having students in classrooms rather than on Zoom meetings made it difficult for many, especially working families, to go to work with their children having to stay home, and other complications. The eventual stress caused Jaleelah Ahmed to ask for a 3-month medical leave in November, which was granted. So she was given a gag order. Unfortunately, she was given a gag order not to discuss anything about school when she asked for this. So when she planned to return 3 months later in January, the school board suddenly extended her leave while she was put under investigation. After a year of being relatively forced into exile, with no way to defend herself, or to visit Hamtramck, or to speak with her friends, or to help with administering the school district, a new school board voted to bring her back. No charges were filed against her in that long year period or so. And then, she was really unnecessarily kept away from her job. No charges were filed. She had suffered long enough. She wants to do her job. She's back. She did not give up her determination to return to the district and the students that she loves so much. This is the time to celebrate. So we're here to say, finally, you're back. You're with us where you belong. She's a strong, compassionate, and committed educator. So welcome back, Jaleelah Ahmed. We love you all. That's who we're here for. Now, here are a couple clips from that OneHamtramck Education Forum that gives you a good impression of Jaleelah's style and her intellect and concerns about students and the school district. So I'm going to jump around a little bit as I show this, about 7 minutes total. First, we're going to have a person in the audience, Fadel, who happens to be here, Fadel, and he's going to ask a question and she'll answer that. And then Kamal Rahman asked a question about absenteeism and a commitment to education. That will be her answer coming up at the end.
Hello everyone, my name is Fadel Muthana. I'm a proud Hamtramck high school graduate, 2018. And I'm very proud of our panelists. I very much admire Ms. Ahmed for being a mentor for the last 3 years, and I was in the ELL program at Hamtramck High School. It was a great pleasure being in that program, and I'm very thankful for that. I have a question in regards to opportunities for the youth in general. As a community organizer, as a Wayne State student right now, studying criminal justice and political science with a concentration in peace and conflict studies. Yes. I am very much aware of the aspect of underdeveloped communities and the injustices that some communities have. I have a question in regards to the opportunities that, of your experience, ways to involve community organizers in the projects that you guys are working on, so that you guys have people, like you always talk about people that are the youth that are actually engaged in doing those projects, so that there's similarity within the same range of ages. I'm just very curious in what projects or what methods or ways that you guys are thinking of or planning on doing in the future.
Going back to Fadel, I want to make some comments. I knew Fadel when I came into this position. He was a part of the EL Youth Voice and Engagement Committee. The committee at the high school voiced concerns that were really, really serious concerns. Them not having time to eat their lunch. And it was just as simple as moving from 2 lunches to 3 lunches. And that way it would give students an opportunity to have enough time to have their lunch. They raised a lot of issues, and not only did they raise the issues, but they worked to solve the issues. And that was very empowering. He was a huge part of the voice and the problem solving. And the goal was to tell the students that this is your school. You see a concern, you have a concern, address it and find ways to fix it. Your voice matters. He was a part of the Henry Ford Engineering Club, entered competition. I think at one year he got first place, another year third place. Created prototypes. Again, looking at the assets of our students. They might not know or have been proficient in the English language, but they knew technology. They knew science. They knew math. Let's use that. Let's hone in, build their confidence, and sky's the limit. Fadel was always looking for opportunities to give back. When Representative Isaac Robinson reached out, said, we have a lot of seniors in the community. There's snow. We need help. We had a shoveling program. Fadel was there with a shovel, supporting our senior citizens. Fadel is always looking for opportunities to give back. And his energy and his push for himself, sometimes I'm concerned and I'm like, take it easy. You know, not getting 1 degree, not 2, always surpassing and exceeding the expectations. And I praise him, and I look for opportunities for you to come back. Number 1, going back to your question, come back, share your journey with the students. Let them know that you could be in any subgroup, but you can ultimately get whatever your heart desires. And share your story, that's important. We are looking to expand opportunities for our students in the STEAM program, in the CTE programs, and a variety of different programs. He also came to the board at one time and said, we don't have advanced classes. Okay. After that, I worked with HFC, and we were able to get 2, and we're increasing as we move along. This is the power when you address things constructively. And I thank him for that.
Go Fadel. Now he's an officer.
Now this next section is Jaleelah answering a question by Kamal Rahman about absenteeism in schools and commitment to education by the students.
If you ask our students, and I've asked my students many times, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I get a long pause, and then I don't know. You know, you ask my 10-year-old ASAP, he knows what he wants to be. He knows he's going to be a doctor so he could take care of mom and dad, but he wants to also be a teacher because he loves school and education. So he has an idea. And so again, going back to our students, you know, creating and giving them opportunities where they see themselves in the future. Realistic opportunities for them. Going back to the key point, knowing our students, knowing and understanding and respecting their struggles and knowing their families. I had a teacher who keeps talking about the kids from the projects. The kids from the projects. The principal today was fed up. I said, well, we have to do whatever it takes. We're going to schedule a day where we go to the projects. We're going to have an ice cream social at the projects, because when they meet the faces behind everyone at the projects, they will love them, as I did. They're so welcoming, so friendly, so excited. When I visited the projects, my children were with me. My children left saying, They are so nice. Mom, I wish we could come here more often. You have to give opportunities to open people's hearts, because we can't give them such a huge responsibility if their hearts are closed. It's got to be both, their minds and hearts. It's not one or the other, it is both.
Okay, that was an opening clip that we want to show you from that beautiful conference that Alisa Perkins put together for OneHamtramck back in 2019, before COVID came and destroyed everything. So, yes, sir, folks, my name is Bill Meyer. For those who joined on after we started here, and I just want to remind all the rest of you that this is being recorded. So if you don't want your face shown, please close your video. And if you want to speak later on, you can raise your hand with the reactions button at the bottom of the screen. And there's a button that says raise hand. You can do that there. Also, that we want to mention that this video, when it's done, will be saved to our YouTube channel for OneHamtramck. It will also be shown on Hamtramck Public Library TV station while we get that here. So once again, the format of the program today is simply roughly 40 minutes of people speaking, prepared statements that Alisa Perkins will take care of. Then Jaleelah Ahmed will say a few words, and then we'll follow with comments from the public if they want to say anything to Jaleelah. So that's the format. We thank you all for being here. I'm going to turn it over to Alisa Perkins now. When I knew her, she was Alisa Perkins, and now she's actually Dr. Alisa Perkins. Very hard to change names once you get to know somebody, but some of you know her as that. She's a very committed activist and also a great educator, author, and she works heavily in the Black Muslim community right now. And she's, I'll let her tell her the rest of her story. But let's everybody applaud and welcome Alisa Perkins. Yay.
Thank you so much, Bill, for many things. First of all, for rallying us today to be able to be here. I think a lot of us had the same idea. We wanted to welcome Jaleelah in a big way, and you're the one who actually organized us to do that. And thank you also for the beautiful documentation of our efforts in the past. You know, you're a true historian. You do document us in a beautiful way. And third, thanks for that nice introduction. I saw myself sitting up a little straighter when you introduced me. So as Bill said, I'm here today representing OneHamtramck, a group that I've proudly belonged to since its founding in 2009. I'm an anthropologist and a professor at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, but somehow I managed to spend about half my time in Detroit, or as I like to say, as I told America the other day, a third of my time in Detroit, a third of my time in Kalamazoo, a third of my time driving in between. So I've been carrying out ethnographic research about Muslim American civic incorporation in Metro Detroit, including in Hamtramck, for the past 16 years or so, since I was a graduate student. And some of my research came out in a book publication about Hamtramck called Muslim American City, which was released by NYU Press in 2020. And that book includes, and the way that I am approaching civic incorporation includes education is a very important theme. So that kind of runs through a lot of my work. And today I'm going to share with you some excerpts from a more recent study, which was on Hamtramck. I'm going to share with you the specific section that I basically wrote about Superintendent Jaleelah Ahmed based on some interviews I carried out. So I'm going to turn back the clock like Bill back to 2019, long time ago, and talk about some of that research. And this is an article for, it's called Crisis and Connection, the Yemen War and New Geographies of Belonging for Yemeni Americans in Metro Detroit, which was prepared for the forthcoming volume called Uncertain Refuge, Vitality and Vulnerability in Arab Detroit, edited by names that may be familiar to you: Nabil Abraham, Yasmin Hanoush, Sally Howell, Andrew Shriak. Hopefully it'll come out later this year, but you guys can have an advanced peek. So first, I'd like to mention that in my first intensive research period in Hamtramck between 2007 and 2009, as Bill very succinctly said, many non-European descended community leaders, family, and alumni of Hamtramck Public Schools who I interviewed reported that they experienced a sense of marginalization in their interactions with public school personnel due to a persistent overrepresentation of European descended administrators, board members, teachers, and staff at every level. This could be seen as especially problematic since Hamtramck is one of the most diverse cities in the nation, with a growing majority, very strong and growing majority of the student population coming from non-European nations such as Yemen, Bangladesh, and others. So why should it be basically led and controlled only by European descended people? A major shift, like Bill said, finally started occurring, and especially in 2016, when then Superintendent Thomas Nichai began efforts to self-consciously diversify public school personnel, beginning with his wise decision to hire Jaleelah Ahmed, a Yemeni American educator, as English Language Development Director, as well as hiring some other exceptionally well-qualified education leaders from various backgrounds other than European. I interviewed Thomas Nichai a few months before his retirement as superintendent in 2019. He described Jaleelah Ahmed's hire as a watershed moment. He said, "We've had a large influx of Yemeni students in Hamtramck schools in the last few years. We want staff to look like the student population that we serve. What better way to do that than to bring in an ELL director who is Yemeni and has the skill set to be able to serve the students?" An even more remarkable challenge came in 2019, when, based in part on her excellent performance as ELL director, the school board decided to hire then English Language Development Director Jaleelah Ahmed as superintendent of schools. A long-term Hamtramck resident and Yemeni American parent that I interviewed at the time commented about why she believed that Jaleelah Ahmed was more qualified for the position than other candidates. She said, "Jaleelah understands the experience of first-generation immigrants. The Yemeni people that come here are not afforded the same opportunities as our Lebanese and Syrian counterparts. We are coming with our last pennies to find a better hope for our kids, especially if they came at the start of the war or are currently during the war. There is a trauma that comes with that. Jaleelah has a better understanding of that, sympathy and empathy." During the lead up to the school board vote, Hamtramck groups like the Yemeni American Leadership Association hosted events to help the community get to know the candidates better and sent their recommendations to the current board. One politically active, longtime Yemeni American Hamtramck resident and activist explained, quote, "The community fought hard to bring her because she is the most qualified and she knows the community. The fact that Jaleelah is superintendent sends a message to everybody that a Yemeni lady can do whatever she wants if she only takes those extra steps and works hard." Once she became superintendent of Hamtramck Public Schools, Ahmed immediately began to implement dynamic and important changes. One of Superintendent Ahmed's first initiatives was to create, was to create a new position for a school and community facilitator staff who, among other responsibilities, frequently visited students and parents in their homes. According to my interview with Superintendent Ahmed, she said, "When the school and community facilitators sit with the families in their homes, they are able to understand the struggles they are facing. They are able to provide a sense of connection for the family, between the school and the family, to convey to them, you are not alone. We are here for you. You can use us as a resource. These visits provide a sense of security to the family." Moreover, Superintendent Ahmed fought for better representation of non-European descended peoples in the textbooks and pushed for wide curricular reform. She commented, quote, "With the Black Lives Matter movement becoming so influential, momentum was raised to think more critically about these issues. There are not enough Black and Brown students represented in the current selections. We passed a resolution to revamp the curriculum. When students don't see themselves reflected in the content of the material, they can't relate to the work." End quote. First as English Language Development Director, then as Superintendent, Ahmed created adult literacy programs such as the Newcomer Engagement Parent Program, which operated out of Tau Beta. In an interview, Superintendent Ahmed commented, quote, "Studies show that immigrants who do not have access to adequate support systems in the US may remain living in the survival stage for many years. At Hamtramck Public Schools, we want to move away from this pattern and give the parents of our children the tools not just to survive, but to become cultural leaders who can advocate for themselves and their children." Before the pandemic, I had the chance to interview one of these adult parents who was a student of the newcomer engagement program. And this is the last quote that I'll share. This woman said, "I came to Hamtramck from Yemen in 2008. I started attending the classes at Taubeda in 2018. Before that program, I had never taken any literacy classes. I was illiterate in both languages, Arabic and English. I grew up in Yemen, and I did not have a chance to go to school there. Miss Ahmed created a good way to allow Yemeni women to attend. It was the first time I found an opportunity like that." I could go on with countless examples like this, but I think that these quotes that I already included reflect what Miss Ahmed has done for and means to Hamtramck, from students, parents, school personnel, and other residents. Her caringness, her wisdom, her grace, and the way that she always goes the extra mile. We're so happy she's back to continue the excellent work that she's been doing. Thank you for listening. And now I would like to turn it over. Bill, is that the correct time of the program to ask other people to share their prepared remarks?
Yes, I think you have Adeeb next.
Okay, I sure do. So first, I would like to ask Dr. Adeeb Mozip to come up and share his comments. He is coming to us perhaps from Dearborn, but perhaps from Ann Arbor, where he's recently accepted a wonderful high-level administrative position where he's able to use his skills in education leadership, diversity and inclusion. And Adeeb is also, as he'll tell you more about, one of the leading members of the AAYSP, American Association for Yemeni Students and Professionals. Adeeb, please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Bill, for organizing this. Appreciate it. And Jaleelah, welcome. As Lisa mentioned, my name is Adeeb Mozip. I serve as the Executive Director of the Vice Provost for Enrollment Management at the University of Michigan. Previously, I spent about 15 years at Wayne State University in different roles. I also serve as the Vice President of the Yemeni Students of the Yemeni American Association of Students and Professionals, an organization dedicated to promoting and advancing the success of Yemeni American students and professionals. I teach in higher education, a course at Wayne State University College of Education, and I research, and my research is focused on higher education as well. I have known Jaleelah since she was in Dearborn as an educator. Her passion for students is really remarkable. Her drive to make a difference and impact was evidence to me and the students and the families. I want to share one example. When she realized how newcomers to this country, new students, have passion for technology, she went out of her way and took the extra mile to create a club at the high school she was serving in. This club was focused on technology, so she would coach students after schools on robotics. They even went to compete in competition, and when competitions, she reached out to many professionals to engage them in that work. I'm happy to see Jaleelah back in her role and serving the Hamtramck community. We're ready and happy to serve and support in any way to make her successful. Her success is not just for herself. Her success is for Hamtramck students, families, Yemeni Americans across this country in general, as she served as a role model for women and young girls, and for public education. Public education, as we all know, is under attack for a long time, and Hamtramck is a prime example of how for-profit charter schools use the systems to profit out of the kids and leave public schools like Hamtramck public schools to care for the most underserved students who come to schools with many challenges, and such as disabilities, language, and other challenges. Public schools are required to register any students that walk in their doors, while charter schools pick and choose who they want to enroll. When we see these challenges in Hamtramck, sometimes you ask yourself, it's remarkable how anyone can succeed and prevail. But I hope, and my hope is for the collective wisdom of all of the school leaderships and the community to come together and to serve the students. I'm actually hopeful and inspired by the Yemeni women wisdom, especially as we see in our examples in our history, long and present. We learned the examples of Queen Sheba and Queen Arwa, who used their power and wisdom to drive change and yield positive results for their communities. And now their names is recorded for history as examples of strong leaders, strong women who led for positive change and made a huge impact in the lives of their people. I also would say, and I'll conclude with this, we see a lot of turmoils in a lot of schools and troubles. But as Bill, I think, beautifully put it in, we have been marginalized as a Yemeni American community for a long time. And when you push power, power push back, and they push back hard. But as I mentioned, I'm inspired by the Yemeni wisdom, al-hikmah al-Yemeniya, that we know. We always say this. And I hope that the community can come together, all of the community, the diverse community in Hamtramck, for the sake of the students, and support Jaleelah in her role. And we're happy to see her back. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for those beautiful comments. Yeah, I liked the historical examples back in history of powerful Yemeni women. And I think we should add Jaleelah's name to that list because she really is really a wonderful inspiration for us. So thank you for that so much. I'd like to ask another person to speak now, someone who's special to me. This is Khalifa Kane, who I prefer to call Chef Khalifa. She is on the Hamtramck scene. Her restaurant and mobile food kitchen is parked just north of, Hamtramck, on the border of Hamtramck, where she prepares delicious halal soul food and Taco Tuesdays and so much more. So, but not only is she a wonderful chef, Khalifa is also a very caring and wonderful mother of I believe five children. And I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but some of her children went to school in places where Jaleelah, Superintendent Jaleelah Ahmed, was served as principal or administrator, and Khalifa had a range of intense experiences with Jaleelah, where she was able to witness some of the same kinds of kindness and integrity and wisdom that we see today. So I would like to ask Chef Khalifa to please share her thoughts and experiences with us today. Thank you.
All right, hello and welcome everyone. And thank you for inviting me to this wonderful occasion. You know, it really warms my heart to be able to have an invite, you know, to be a part of this moment for Superintendent Jaleelah, because she is a beautiful friend of mine that I do have that exceeded beyond her being the principal of my children for, a couple years. So again, I'll introduce myself. My name is Khalifa Kane, and I am a dear friend of Jaleelah's, as well as an ex-parent of some students that she was fortunate enough to be the principal of when they attended in Dearborn Heights, Global Heights Academy. And because my children were in their beginning stages of school, I was like heavily involved in that phase, as I was with my children that were much older than them. I was also involved in their schooling. But during this time that Amina and Mustafa attended Global Heights Academy, I built a relationship with her, being the principal at that time. And I can honestly say that from the beginning of the school year, it was something about her energy that did stand out. Like, yes, I do feel I had this sense of comfort that I had chose the best school for my children at that time. And in the beginning, I lived very far. I wasn't a Dearborn Heights resident, but I had chose that school because the school format or layout, it catered to what I preferred my children to be, around other Muslim children, and having, you know, the benefit of them being in the school where they served halal lunches, and then of course having an administration of people that really cared about the children. And so my children honestly went to their school all the way up, even after she wasn't principal there no more, because we really enjoyed being a part of that family. She left a big stamp on the culture and nature of how Global Heights was ran. And so alhamdulillah for that. But like I said, me and her relationship exceeded like being just a parent there. We became, you know, really good friends, and our families, you know, was able to share moments together and, you know, share dinner and things like that. So yeah, she's a very dear friend of mine, and I always admired and respect her for her professionalism and her passion about education. Because even though, you know, I doesn't have like this I would say like expertise or qualification in education, I do think that I am somewhat an educator because I am my children's first teacher. And so I took that very seriously. And so not only her as an administrator, but as a mother, we like shared a lot of the same visions that we wanted to see for these children. And that is for them to succeed and for them to have this foundation and this base of academics and you know, for this environment to be cultivating and building of their character and developing their character. And that she brought so many opportunities to Global Heights that even now I've run into parents. I actually seen a parent like about 2 weeks ago, and we talked like, you know, we hadn't seen each other in a long time. We were on the Parent Teacher Association committee there, and we just talked about those memories that we had of being parents, a part of the school, and how wonderful it was, and how a lot of the schools have changed, or they're not fortunate enough to have people that really care about them, and not only just care about, you know, coming to work as a job that was just paying for their, you know, to provide for their families. We're talking about people that took out their time, going above and beyond the call of duty to research and provide programs and things that catered to the student population. And so there was a lot of programs that our children that had, and we experienced there, not only for the kids, but as well as for the parents or guardians or whoever the caretakers was of their children. We felt a part of that school community, and she created that environment that exceeded even her role as the principal there. When I heard that Jaleelah was the superintendent in Hamtramck, because now well, at one point I did move to Dearborn Heights. So I was out there for a couple of years, and then I ended up, because I own a house in Detroit, it brought me back. And I'm not far from the Hamtramck border. And so I do spend a lot of my time there. And as Dr. Alisa said, I have my mobile food truck there. So Hamtramck is a place that I spend a lot of time. And so when I heard that she came to Hamtramck as the superintendent, you know, I was really, really excited because I knew what Hamtramck was in for. I knew that they were going to get beyond what we were getting in Global Heights, you know, because at that time she was not a doctor, and she was so passionate and adamant about continuing her education so that she can, you know, learn more to give more. And I can honestly say that, you know, I am so glad that she's back. And I can say that I know what I believe based on just, you know, knowing her from that role, what she's capable of giving. And like I said, even beyond. And obviously, in order for her to come back, you know, others as well has seen the beauty of her contribution to the Hamtramck School District. And it really also, you know, just warms me to know that, yes, You know, she's a Yemeni woman. You don't really see the Yemeni women in the highlight. You know, women may not feel as comfortable, you know, doing and taking a stance and being bold and being, you know, such a risk taker, you know, to step up and stand up for the Yemeni community. You know, I really like commend her for that, you know. And I just want to say, Jaleelah, that I am proud of you. I support you. I am so grateful to see you back. And I just want to say, you know, you go, girl. I know that Allah is with you. Allah has given you something that He doesn't give to everybody. And so the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has charged you with being this leader and this representation of women and a Muslim woman, alhamdulillah, I say take this task and go as far as Allah will allow you to go. And Hamtramck, I say give her an opportunity to show you and continue to show you, because she has shown you, and to continue to show me the greatness that she has to offer the school district. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, Chef Khalifa, for those beautiful, moving words. I kind of almost got a lump in my throat as you were talking because of how beautiful that those sentiments were. And I think you really put into words what a lot of us are feeling. The pride, the joy, the happiness, and kind of the relief, you know, that we have Jaleelah back. So thank you for that. So now we're going to switch. We have more live comments, but we're going to switch into one video comment that was sent in by Kamal Rahman, who is not able to be with us today in person. And many of us know Kamal as a very strong community leader in Hamtramck, very devoted to seeing issues of equity, inclusion happen in many different political and educational levels. And so I'm going to ask Bill now to please play that video for us.
Hello, I am Asam Rahman. I'm a trustee for Wayne County Community College for District 2. I want to welcome Jaleelah Ahmed, Superintendent for Hamtramck High School. Hamtramck High School is in big need of leadership, and Jaleelah Ahmed has proven in the past that she is a great leader, and she can bring a lot of activities and programs to the students. I look forward to work with Ms. Ahmed. We have at Wayne County Community College, we have several programs that are customized for community-based and certification type of programs, and also early college type of programs that will allow students to earn degrees when they graduate college, and also earn credits for the college towards their degree. So I want to welcome, and I look forward to work with her and the team in the coming years, coming months, how we can improve and bring our programs to the communities, and especially Hamtramck high school students. So welcome, Ms. Ahmed, and we look forward to work with you. Thank you.
That was beautiful. I wish Kamal Rahman would be with us here in Zoom, but I'm happy and content that we got the video.
Hey, Alisa, here's a comment that was just brought in at the last minute from attorney Mark Koroi, who's very familiar with situations in Hamtramck. He wrote a statement he wanted me to read. I salute Jaleelah Ahmed's civil rights fight in federal court to enforce her rights and the positive action taken by the new school board to reinstate her. In recent years, the minority Yemeni and Bengali communities have seen unfair prejudices visited upon them with the city, and it is refreshing to see that Jaleelah is seeing fruits of her labor to obtain some level of vindication. I congratulate Jaleelah and her family for enduring the obvious tribulations that were imposed in the last 3 years. Mark Koroi.
So now I'd like to reintroduce someone who you've already met today, those of us who've been here from the beginning, when we saw those excerpts from the 2019 Education Forum. And we saw one very smart and bright student come forth with a very good question, and that was Fadel, and he is here with us today. He is somebody who many of us in Hamtramck are very proud of. He represents like the best of Hamtramck High School. And then from there, he graduated from Wayne State. And then he went on to be pursuing his master's degree in Hartford. And he'll tell you a little more about that. But I'm so delighted that he was able to be with us here today. So I'll turn it over to you, Fadel.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, salam, shalom to all of you. As you know, my name is Fadel Muthana. I like to go by Jacob or Yaqub, a proud alumni of Hamtramck High School, Wayne State University student alumni, and also now a student finishing a master's degree in international peace building at Hartford International University for Religion and Peace, which is located in the great state of Connecticut, as they say. I would not be the man today without the guidance of Allah, my family that stood by my side, and also Jaleelah Ahmed. This individual had profound impact on who I am as an individual. Others here can attest to that as well, including my dear friend and former councilman, Albarmaki, who can attest and affirm to Dr. Ahmed's leadership and impact on Hamtramck students population. As was mentioned in the video, I met first Jaleelah Ahmed, Dr. Ahmed now, as a student in Hamtramck High School, where I was still an English speaking learner, where she was the director of the ESL department. She just, founded the EL Youth Voice and Engagement Committee, which I was an active member of. This woman, who I place in the honor of my mother, gave me the greatest tool that a teacher would give, which is my voice. Before I met her, of course, I was an active community organizer and all of that. But as many people here, more particularly the Yemeni population, can attest to, is as first generation students or as first generation populations, we don't feel like we own our voices or that our voice matters. So, however, after meeting her and seeing that leadership as a Yemeni woman, I came forward to understanding that I can utilize my voice. And that was, like I said, the greatest tool that I could have gotten. Dr. Ahmed was and still, to me, that wisdom and role model of a determined, Yemeni empowered, selfless, resilient leader. It has been more than a year since your absence. Our district has not been the same without you. We'll come back after the many trials. We'll come back to your second home. We are glad that you are finally here to join us to guide our students and our families to the success they deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those beautiful comments all the way from Hartford. We're so grateful that you were able to join us. I know that you just came out of a class on religion and social justice and peace. And so what better way to come right out of class and into our brighten up our meeting. So thank you so much. Okay, now we'd like to hear from another person who I've known for a while. As a young person who is also wise beyond their years, and that's Yahya, who is a very strong Yemeni American activist. You see her name all over the place, and you see her demonstrating when demonstrations are needed. You see her speaking out when speaking out is needed. And now she's working for Rashida Tlaib. So she's following, the path that we all can just watch with amazement, see where she goes. And she was kind enough to come today to share some thoughts with us. Please, America, share those thoughts.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. That was a very sweet introduction. Alisa, I was not expecting it. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really glad to be here. Jaleelah, you and I don't know each other that well personally, but I want to say, and I want to let you know that instantly when I found out there was a Yemeni woman being on some kind of leadership board in Hamtramck, you already know there was a party. So alhamdulillah, that was an amazing achievement to have a Yemeni woman such as yourself to be just stepping up. And you know, like I do, that we don't see enough of that. So already having you up there, and then already having what happened to you happen, a huge disappointment in our community. and we need to do so much better to uplift and assist our women to first strive to, excuse my cats, by the way, they keep running around behind me. I can't do anything. But to first, we need to empower and uplift and provide these resources to our women in our community so that they can want to run into these, for these positions and to actually make a difference and do what they want, essentially. And so having you to be in this type of position, wallahi, is inspirational. I didn't know you before then. Hearing you get into this position, get into it, hearing all of the stories from all of these people, talking about all their great experiences from you, I already know, like, alhamdulillah. What else can I say, really? I hear about you and your work from every person that I come across, Alisa, from Amanda Jakowski, so many people from Hamtramck, and just alhamdulillah, I know once I hear Yemeni woman in a position, I know that they're going to do their best, and I know that you did your best and you're going to come back just as powerful. I want you to know that you have the entire Yemeni women community right behind you. You need anything, you let us know. I'm gonna be there. As Alisa said, I know how to cause trouble and be a little loud. I don't care about that. No reputation, nothing. I don't care. We need to keep talking. We need to stay loud, and we need to stay together as women. So again, inspirational. I look forward to working with you one day. I can be your escort if you need me to help you, be your bodyguard. I got you. Something, anything, I can be that loud woman. It's okay, I have enough voice for all of us. My mom taught me well. So anyway, congratulations, welcome back. I'm so glad to see you. Inshallah, we get to work together soon.
Thank you for those beautiful comments. And, I think all of us are lucky to have America as a friend. I'd like her to escort me to some places sometimes, but thank you for that. Those beautiful comments. Yes.
Alisa, I'd like to interrupt you for a second, say
Yeah.
that I've known America since we started the Arab Mural Project, and her sister, Hanan, was very active with us and started that whole beautiful project of creating the Yemen Arab mural on Joseph Campo. I met her back then when she was a young lady, and look what she's turned into. So excited for your activism. Thank you, America.
Wow, we got a good group today. Well, anyway, next, there's two video presentations. These are video presentations that were put together very lovingly by Superintendent Ahmed's colleagues and friends, Maha Ahmed, an associate professor at Detroit Mercy, and Hiam Gosaynie, who is an expert in teaching bilingual education. And so we'd like to hear from these wonderful voices from Jaleelah's past. Let's go ahead with those two videos, Bill.
Hello, and today I'm going to be talking about my dear friend Jaleelah Ahmed. I am Maha Ahmed as well, and I've known Jaleelah for the past 6 years. And I'm gonna quickly talk about, finally I got it working, about Jaleelah as a friend and as a leader. So the first time I met Jaleelah, as I mentioned, is actually more than 6 years ago. It was at 2014, so almost 9 years ago. And I met Jaleelah during the closing of my house that I live in. It used to be the old house for Jaleelah. So the first sentence that she said to me, Mubarak inshallah. So I was so happy that, she gave me a positive emotion going forward in this purchase. And we talked a bit, me and her, we shared an educational background. So we exchanged phone numbers and we started being friends ever since. So Mubarak inshallah does mean that may God bless your house and may this purchase of your long-term house be a blessed one. So getting to know Jaleelah was actually very nice, and as I got to know her, I found out that she has many wonderful friend and leader qualities. When I think of her, she's an incredible person. She's empowered by her culture and religion. She's extremely kind, always there whenever I need any help. When I'm going through rough times, she's always supportive. And she always puts herself in my shoes. when I have a problem, and she tried to solve problems. She comes from problem solving. She has problem solving capabilities that helps to make everyone comfortable and welcomed and valued. And she's extremely humble as well. And she's always supportive to me and to other people around me as well. Jaleelah, as I mentioned, she's incredibly empathetic, which makes her an amazing listener, and people are naturally drawn to her. She always feels the worries and the problems of students and faculty that works in the public schools as well. She is definitely a person that you can trust. She's reliable as well. She always follows through on her commitments whenever we make any appointments to get together for tea or coffee, whether I need help with some certain issue that I have. She's always going to be there for me. She's a sister that God has given me, and I'm blessed to have her in my life. She is a true gem of a person, and I'm very honored to call her my friend and my sister as well. Thank you for allowing me to share a bit of her amazing spirit with you today. Jaleelah is coming back to Hamtramck is a huge benefit for Hamtramck School District. So hopefully everything will go just fine. And Jaleelah, you are victorious. وَإِنْ يَنْصُرْكُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ. If Allah grants you your victory, then no one can defeat you, Jaleelah, inshallah. Have a good one, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about Jaleelah Ahmed today.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Maha Ahmed, for those beautiful words and images. And I think there's some definite themes running through all of our comments that we all feel the same way, that we're all lucky to know Jaleelah and have Jaleelah. And we also feel like a sense of happiness that it's not just that we can be friends with her and that we can have her in our lives, but that she's a person who's been has a position of great influence, you know, and we're very grateful that she's in that position. And now for the last comments, we're going to turn to Hiam Gosaynie, who also shares Jaleelah's love of teaching, and we'll hear a few comments from her, and then we'll move to the next section of our program.
Good evening. I'm Hiam Gosaynie, a retired Dearborn teacher, and it's been my pleasure and honor to have known Jaleelah Ahmed for 6 years when she came to work at Etzelford High School, the school I had worked at for about 30 years. We instantly bonded and became close friends, colleagues, and sisters. In getting to know and work with her, I saw firsthand her love and dedication as an educator who cared about the well-being of her students, one who values learning, education, students' achievements, inclusivity, and empowering others, especially those who have no voice. Here's a lovely quote by Khalil Gibran that epitomizes her philosophy about education. Quote, "The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind." Unquote. Jaleelah personifies a true leader, an educator, and an ethical role model who is kind yet strong, organized and goal-oriented, driven by her passion for and attainment of what is best for the Hamtramck district, its staff, and most importantly, its diverse students. Her daily goal was for the betterment and success of the students by striving to provide them with a sound education and a fair chance at a good future, even in these difficult times. So again, quoting Gibran, one of my favorite writers, can you tell, who seems to echo Jaleelah's innate sterling qualities. And he writes, quote, "Tenderness and kindness are not signs of weakness and despair, but manifestations of strength and resolution." Unquote. Resolution and strength are necessary qualities in a leader, qualities which Jaleelah clearly possesses to continue to deal effectively with all manner of challenging scenarios and situations. Because as a leader, I know she believes that, quote, by losing your goal, you have lost your way, unquote, as Khalil Gibran so eloquently and succinctly wrote. Well, Jaleelah Ahmed, aka Wonder Woman, to me and her friends, is here to save the day and to help the district to rediscover its way and to assist in again rebuilding many programs to benefit everyone. In a word, Jaleelah Ahmed is all about helping and serving others, sometimes to the detriment of her personal health. And again, quoting Gibran, I slept and dreamt that life is all joy. I woke and saw that life is all service. I served and I saw that service is joy. Service is Jaleelah's motto, mantra, and creed she lives by because she, like Gibran, believes that, quote, work is love made visible, unquote. And thus she tirelessly gives of her talents, wisdom, vision, and will continue to do so because she is a professional and a strong, empathetic, and fair leader. I'll close by sharing this final quote, which tellingly showcases Jaleelah Ahmed's past brilliant efforts in Hamtramck, as well as her continued invincible role with Allah's help in bringing more success to students and fair and ethical leadership to her district. Gibran brilliantly writes, to understand the heart and mind of a person, look not at what he has already achieved, but at what he aspires to. Thank you for your attention.
Even though she's not here, I'd like to thank Hiam for her beautiful and moving comments and quotes. I'm so glad we're able to end the public, these prepared comments with such an artistic and beautiful note. And now I'd like to ask our superintendent, Jaleelah, yes, so to unmute herself. Superintendent Ahmed, you've heard from some of your fans and you've seen some of us here just so pleased and happy. And you should know that, our comments and feelings are reflected not just in us, but in many, many people in Hamtramck. And so you just get a small sample of what we feel. And I know that we didn't ask you to prepare anything in advance, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we'd just love to hear a couple of words from you about how's it been? How does it feel to be back? What are some of the things you're thinking about now that you're back? And so I'm going to leave it over to you.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you to everyone who took the time and effort to put this event together. It's so meaningful, and I'm truly, truly humbled by the work and this wonderful evening. I don't usually like to talk about me. I like to put the attention on our students, our staff, and the wonderful things going on in our district. But I'm truly, truly humbled by you all. It's been nice to see so many people that are near and dear to my heart, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much to Bill, I know Twala also would have loved to be a part of it, this entire program. May she rest in peace. Thank you to Alisa, Farhana, Danielle, America, Linda, and everyone who took the time to put this event together, to the speakers tonight. Again, Alisa, Adeeb, Khalifa, Chef Khalifa. I miss those memories. Kamal, Maha, my dear sister, and my dear sister Hiam, Fadel, Fadel, and America. Yes, I'm gonna take you on that offer, America. Your efforts are truly appreciated, and you are worth your weight in gold. To my former student friends and students, I should say, because Adam's here too, who have become family, colleagues, and of course my family, you are a gift and an inspiration to me, and I am blessed to have you in my life. Hamtramck, the world in 2 square miles. It is enchanting. It is an incredible city full of the most amazing people. And whether you're this side or this side, I will always think of you highly, and I will always agree to disagree if need be. Hamtramck is a place that holds, is very dear and holds a very special place in my heart. Since my first position as the ELD director at Hamtramck Public Schools, I think 2016, I've built strong partnerships, friendships, and relationships, and I've sustained them. I'm honored to serve as superintendent of Hamtramck Public Schools, and I am eager to continue to lead and guide our district towards excellence. I'm excited to work with our amazing and dedicated staff, our amazing scholars, and our families and community members. I will continue to make every effort to prioritize our students, and I encourage stakeholders to work together. As a servant leader, I will continue to serve our amazing HPS community. We have ESSER funds that are near expiring, so that has been one of the biggest tasks that I've had in my return, ensuring that that money is well spent and put to improve the capital projects in our district. Again, the best learning and teaching environments are in buildings that have a strong infrastructure. I will continue to advocate and protect our students, ensuring that they have equitable programs, quality education, and that everyone honors and respects them and understand that they are the greatest treasures that we are entrusted with. I want to leave you with my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes by Gandhi, and that is, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Let's lose ourselves in the service of others, in unity, in love, in peace, and in strength. God bless you all, and have a good night.
Thank you, Jaleelah Ahmed, so much for being here and being back in Hamtramck at the public schools. For those who were here at the beginning, my name is Bill Meyer. I'm the chair of the OneHamtramck organization, and I want to give a nice shout out and thank you to Alisa Perkins, who helped us with all the people who spoke earlier. Thank you, Alisa, so much for your work and what you do. And for all the people who gathered here for this occasion to celebrate the return of Jaleelah. This has been a long story. My wife and I, Twyla and I, started OneHamtramck back in 2009, and this is one of her last causes that she wanted to help Jaleelah get back to her rightful position. And it's so nice that she finally got back. This has taken way too long. We were planning this welcome back party actually last January, and when she was supposed to come back from her medical leave, but as you know, all know that her leave was extended for over a year now without finding any cause for this. They had the school board finally decided to bring her back, and we think that wise decision, and we hope that now that she's back, that all the problems that were caused before can be resolved, and that she can work in a beautiful environment, and everybody can work in a good environment, and find a way to work with each other, and ultimately help the students, help the kids, because that's what the school's for. And we've got a lot of great administrators, a lot of great teachers, and Jaleelah is there to work with everybody. I know her heart is in the right spot. And thank you so much. We're going to open it up to comments for the public, and anybody here would like to say anything to celebrate this occasion. We just raise your hand, put your icon up. There's a reaction button at the bottom where you raise your hand, and we'd love to have somebody say some things. If not, the meeting's over. So it's up to you guys. We thank all the ones who spoke. Okay, let's have Adam go first. Then we have George, and we have Michele. Thank you. Go ahead, Adam.
I just want to welcome Jaleelah Ahmed back to Hamtramck, and I just want to thank her for everything she done for Hamtramck and everything she will do for Hamtramck. And have a good night.
Thank you, Adam. We miss you in the city council meetings. Let's go to George now. I asked unmute. Thank you, George, for being here. Go ahead.
I just want to welcome you back and congratulations on the doctorate. I'm excited to see a couple of former students here. I'm very proud of them. A former city council member, so that's pretty cool to see. I wanted to invite everybody on April 27th. We're having a history day event, which is I work with the Hamtramck Historical Museum, and our kids do projects on the history of Hamtramck. So tonight we're talking about inclusion and in the community, and it will be all the kids projects. Well, most of the kids projects will be about Hamtramck. So I'll let Miss Ahmed know the details, or Dr. Ahmed know the details later. But I'd like to have a big turnout so the kids can see, that they have the support of the community. So April 27th at 5 o'clock at the Hamtramck Historical Museum. But thank you and welcome back.
Yeah, thank you, George. Okay, we'll go to Michele Imbrunone now. Hi, Michele, how are you?
Wonderful, thank you. Jaleelah, I just wanted to say welcome back. I am sure the community, as you've heard this evening, is absolutely thrilled beyond compare. And I'm just so excited for the students and the staff and the community at large. It was wonderful to have worked with you, and your leadership, your grace and your tenacity is bar none. And thank you for allowing me to participate this evening. Don and I were present. We were excited, and it was just so wonderful to hear the common thread about grace, your kindness, your level of service to others. And that was just remarkable. So thank you so much to everyone this evening who put this together. And thank you for the invite. It was wonderful to see OneHamtramck really bringing together the community. Bill, thank you for your hard work. I'm so sorry for your loss. And to see this come together was just remarkable. So thank you so much. Jaleelah, you've got good work ahead of you, and good trouble for America is good trouble. So I'll be anxious to see what she does. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michele, for joining us. We appreciate what you do. Is there anyone else who would like to make any comments? You're welcome to. I want to mention that Khalil Gibran happens to be one of my favorite authors too. And one of his quotes that she just mentioned at the end happens to be what Jaleelah said at the end of our conference, if you remember. She said that you want to know what a student is, you want to know what he aspires to. That's what's most important. And so that means Jaleelah must be reading Khalil Gibran, right? Yeah, I know. All right, so we got Greg Kirchner, and then we have Khalifa. Go ahead, Greg. Greg is the director of one of them, of the Hamtramck Public Library. And he also films a lot of events. Hi, Gregory.
Yes, hi. I would like to welcome Jaleelah to the new position, or back to the superintendent's position. And I would like to extend invitation to work closer with the Hamtramck Public Schools. The Hamtramck Public TV can be utilized by Hamtramck schools because we're on air 24/7, and it's an effective way of spreading the information immediately. Any information that we get by 10 o'clock will be on air that day. In your absence, we have extended the invitation to the school board to participate in the Hamtramck Public TV. Unfortunately, they have not taken advantage. I hope that you might change the direction and utilize the Hamtramck Public TV for the Hamtramck schools. I know you have an audiovisual department that could assist probably the school system in preparing different information, making announcement, broadcasting lectures by the teachers, sport events, and any other thing that you might want the public to know. We are broadcasting worldwide. Yemen is one of the countries that we have audience in as well. However, Hamtramck is our largest audience. So again, I'd like to welcome you and extend an invitation to utilize Hamtramck Public TV for the benefit of school system. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg, for your comments. Appreciate you being here. And now here's Khalifa, who spoke earlier, and she has her son with her now. I forgot his name, but I met him the other day. So let's hear from both of them. Go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to just add, you know, that to all the wonderful words that everybody has said, is that Jaleelah, well, first, I want to thank the organizers, because this is really amazing. I think it's a wonderful thing to know and give people their flowers while they're able to to receive them. I think to have such an amazing group of friends, that's such an honor, you know. So I want to just tell you, my friend, that with difficulty comes ease. You know, just know that it's still gonna be some bumps in the road. You know, Allah knows best. But when you find yourself in these difficult spaces and moments, just remember everybody that's here, that's supporting you and that love you, and all the amazing children and administration and staff that that need you and that stand behind you and that's looking forward to you bringing everything that you have to offer. And so I just want to again say welcome back, and just draw from the strength of this amazing support system and group of people that you have here tonight and beyond, because I know that there's many more people that wasn't able to be here tonight, but love you in the same and support you, and just know that we do got your back, you know. And I thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Khalifa. Wonderful. What's your son's name again?
Omar.
Omar, right. Omar, how are you? Next time you'll get to say something. You got to meet
right.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of this. Zoom is the best we could do. Last year we had planned to do this, and now we finally did it. And Jaleelah's here. She's off on a roll now to try to get the school system going and working with everybody. And everyone here gave such great support to her. We appreciate you all for being here. You know, you have a large family that loves you, Jaleelah. So we're with you. I want to mention that there's a chat here. If anybody wants to save the chat, you can save it now before the meeting closes. I also want to mention that this video will be available to see on our OneHamtramck YouTube channel. So please go to that channel and subscribe to it if you can, and it makes us look more important, you know, more subscriptions. And then also you can see it on the Hamtramck Public Library channel, which will be broadcast on a television station. Once again, thanks to Alisa for helping put this program together, and our committee, which I mentioned at the beginning. I'll say it again: Farhana and Danielle and America and Linda. I thank you all for doing this. I'm going to play a song as we go out, and this is a song that we played at the beginning, and you might all remember it, and you can all sing along. So thank you for being here.
And what could ever lead you?
What could ever lead you?
Back here where we need you.
Back here where we need you.
Every keys in my life, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
Welcome